Nat 20. Hi folks, Merlin here, bringing you another Dungeons and Dragons adventurer video. So yesterday, Wednesday, I received delivery free of Dungeons and Dragons Adventurer. Nice big box because it's got the folder in, so won't be showing out on this side of the camera, but will be the other side of the camera, which is confusing. But yeah, some nice issues we have there anyway. One I'm not too bothered with. One I think is more going to be a ornamental set rather than an actual usable set. And one that will definitely come in handy for a blackout. But yeah, before we dive into that, there's a few new bits of information come out about the collection. So as previously mentioned, we are up to issue 14 on the website, but there are at least 2 more items revealed that we will be getting in the collection coming forward. That is a second set of PVC standees featuring monsters this time, and a new character which we'll see in issue 9, I think it is. And also there's going to be a nice set of laser cut MDF markers for conditions. So I know it shows inspiration ones, and I think they'll probably be doing others as well. What issues they'll be in, it's unsure at the moment. We know there's a Dragonborn coming soon, so that might be one of the characters on the standees as well. So, because I know there is, I think it's a wood nymph character we got in issue 9, and there's a Dragonborn issue 13 or 14, and I think there's a couple of monsters on that sprue. Check the Hachette D&D subscription website, scroll down to about just underneath what's in the first 4 issues. It will show you what's coming in the near future. 2 of those pictures are things we've already got. One, the red, gold and black dice set from the last delivery, and the other is the glow in the dark dice from this delivery. So yeah, check it out if you want to have a little peek at what's coming. So luckily then, it's going to be more than just dice. I hope there's going to be a few other incentives. I want to see more paper handouts that come with issues, like maps and stuff. And yeah, definitely want to see more monsters. Hopefully we'll get those as sort of a subscriber gift incentive, like we have seen with Imperium, where we had like a special character pack or a special novella for so much extra on top of our subscription. Recently in Stormbringer, they have been pretty good. They've had 2 specials, both £10 for a £20+ model, so pretty good value there. So hopefully they'll do something similar for this collection and give you like a selection of monsters for 15 quid. I don't know how much they go for on brand new. But yeah, that's a little bit of ramble I wanted to do for this video. So before we dive over to the table, don't forget, of course, to check all the links in the video description down below. Sign up to the Patreon if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and there's something else I've forgotten. Yeah, keep up to date with all my other content on the channel and my social medias, there we go. So yeah, let's jump over the table and we'll take a look at delivery free. So here we have our big brown box and issues inside. So first off, issue 10, which comes with a little mini metal set. Issue 9 comes with a nice red and white glittery set. Issue 8 comes with a rather fancy looking sort of oriental sort of style dice set. Not the best for reading, too much detail on it. 7 then comes with our glow in the dark dice, and we have our first folder with dividers. So we'll take a look at this first, I think, get it out of the way. Then we'll take a look through each of the issues quickly. So I'll adjust the camera and go full vertical, and then we can take a look at our new items. So here we have our first folder. So this is free for subscribers, comes with your third delivery. And yeah, it's pretty standard for a Hachette folder. No internal detail. Usually there's maps and text and stuff connecting to the collection. But this is just plain white on the inside. The Dungeons and Dragons Adventurer logo with a dragon facing off against two adventurers there. And dividers are pretty solid pieces of paper. Previously, they usually have tabs to make it easier for splitting up. Not too sure how big compared to the pages these will be. Usually though, with these collections, you end up having one folder for each of the sections. What would have been nice would be to have included some stickers that you could have put on the side, so you know which one at a quick glance contained what section you're looking for. Yeah, not the best folder we've had collection-wise. The Imperium, Conquest, and the Mortal Realms, and even the Stormbringer ones have all been really nicely detailed on the inside and outside. Their dividers have been a little more handy. They've had the subcategories on the fronts of each divider. Whether we're going to get future dividers that help break up the individual sections, not too sure. I may just have to keep the binders in my subscription, which I was trying to avoid. Just to wait and see and find out. But yeah, this will do to hold the first 20 or so issues worth of content. And I'll probably find a couple of cheap ones to hold the rest of the issues and just Dungeons and Dragons it up a bit. Yeah, pretty standard. Definitely not worth the price, which we'll get into at the end. So let's start with issue 7. So throw away our baggie. Haven't done a very good job of punching through this particular issue. So yeah, our freebie is a beautiful set of glow-in-the-dark dice. I'll try and get these actually glowing for the full in-depth review where we roll them. So let's take a flick through our magazine quickly then. So we've got part 2 of conditions to look at. We learn about currency and the different types of coins, puzzles that could be intricate to adventures, which are pretty good, make the adventures a little bit more fun and intuitive. Combat focused page here of actions and bonus actions. And we got part 1 on weapons as well. So we got quite a lot of sage advice in this issue. So we've got a table here focusing on all the different weapons, how much it costs to buy, how much damage they do with the dice amount, weight, which will come into importance later on. Your character's going to only carry so much weight of items, and some weapons, like the pike, is pretty heavy and will make carrying other items a little harder, and other properties, etc. there. Part 2 of weapons then, so we focus on some of the properties of those weapons. And we even look at different armors as well. And getting ready for our new character, we are looking at gnomes. So that was the new character that we have coming up in a future issue. It's a forest gnome. So yeah, pretty cool. And pretty much that's it for the issue. Then we got into our encounter, which I won't go over here as I don't want to spoil anything. I'll save it for the full issue review. But we can have a look at the back. We've got a Clockwork Defender as an enemy. So that's something, a little teaser for you all. Moving on, we got issue 8. So another set of dice, and I like these dice. Not sure if I'd use them personally. They're a little bigger than the regular dice we have in the collection, but they're pretty ornamental looking. They've got nice lot of detail on, but it makes things harder to read, especially as we got the D&D symbol here on the highest value of each dice. So we got the 8 there as a D&D, and we got the 12 there, 6, etc. So yeah, all those squiggly lines, while they look pretty, will make reading at a distance a little harder. And get the camera to focus on them. There we go. Yeah, nice set nonetheless. So let's take a look at issue 8 quickly. So we learn about sizes, as we've had fairly difference in sizes of characters and monsters we've seen. Here we see a halfling, a barbarian, and a dwarf facing off against an owlbear. So we see the different types of sizes, from tiny, small, medium, to large, huge, and gargantuan. Sometimes it's best to be small size because you can be nimbler and dodge out the way of big things. And you can also get into small crevices. So we look at spell areas of effect. So this is part 2, continuation. So we look at the cone, the cylinder, and the lines, and examples of what they would look like. Gives you ideas that you could cut out templates as well if you correctly size it to the scale your dungeon boards are, which would be pretty handy. Then we have a look at mounted combat. So not every warrior rides to battle alone. They sometimes have a mount, and this helps start to cover that section. Different types of mounts. So we've got a unicorn, regular horse, and even a Pegasi there. And we are starting to take a look then at alignment. So this will give you a bit of information about the different types of alignment within the game. So you all know the meme: good, lawful good, neutral good, chaotic good, etc. And yeah, this is what this comes into. So yeah, nice little handy section. Then we take a look at tools that are essential to all adventurers. We already know the tools in our starting character's gear, and this helps explain what tools do a little more. So there's stuff like a disguise kit, herbalism kit, musical instruments, and even artisan tools. And we take a look at our new class, and this is the Outlander, which will be, again, suitable for our new character in the next issue. So yeah, we see an Outlander here, rather light clothing, little bits of leather armor, tunic, boots, and they have a very close affinity for wildlife and nature as well. We see there a human with a lovely bear there, being friends. And yeah, gives you some tips on how to be an Outlander and talents you can get. Next, we take a look at some lore. We have the Neverwinter, so one of the bigger cities in the Sword Coast. And then we have a bit about the Lord's Alliance, one of the other factions within the game. And then our encounter is a nice, pretty laid-back one, fun at the fair. So, like I said, we'll take a look more at that in our full issue review. But for a teaser, there's a little horse there, and it's a bit too much revealed there, so yeah. Moving on, so issue 9, probably the bumper issue of the delivery. We get a new tin and we get a new character sheet as well. So yeah, we got another dice tin, pretty good condition this time, no damage to it. And we got a beautiful clear red set with a little bit of a glittery effect. I can just about make out anyway on it. So I'll bring it in a little closer. Yeah, they'll look pretty nice, I think. Definitely the better sets. So let's take a look through our issue. So we cover movement. It's a basic fundamental skill, but there's some complexities to it, and let's start looking at it. We have senses, a set of skills that certain races and classes have that can detect evil, etc. Passive perception ability there. So different types of senses will include dark vision, which we've covered already, blind sight, true sight. Then we have a look at dungeon adventuring. So yeah, pretty cool. Covers lots of the basics on how to fight in the dungeons. Common enemies you'll find are often fallen adventurers or loyal soldiers of a entombed lord. Food and water will often be a short supply, so make sure you are prepared for going on a long adventure. Next, we take a look at the Bard class, which I believe is what the Dragonborn is going to be in a future issue, so preparing us for that. And it even has Bard features of the first level, so yeah, that's definitely preparing us for a new character. And Bard features of the second level there as well, because all our characters should be nearing second level by now. Then we take a look at a new bit of lore focusing on the goblin tribes of the Forgotten Realms. And we also look at the Kingdom of Delzoun, so an ancient dwarven kingdom. And issue 9 is Deadlock Mine, or mission 9, not issue 9. And it's a part 1 of 2. Ooh. Counter is balanced for second level characters. Players can use pre-generated characters or create their own. And a nice long play time of 3 to 4 hours. So, ooh, a part 1 adventure. That's going to be quite interesting. Anything I can show you on the back? Yes. So we have enemies in the form of goblins in this adventure. And here we have our class. Okay, so this is actually our Bard, our new character. So we've got a level 2 pay sheet and a level 1 sheet. So a forest gnome who is a Bard. Yeah. Comes with a dagger and a rapier as their weapons. Armor has light armor. Also has a hand crossbow, long sword, short sword, and other simple weapons they can use. Yeah, pretty cool. So we got our Bard spells here. Charisma, spellcasting abilities, DC saves, and spell bonuses there. 3 foot 5 inches, so she's pretty tiny, and weighs only 40 pounds, but 102 years old, so she's been around a while. Yeah, we have a nice picture of her there, looking pretty lively for 102 years old, I guess. Forest gnomes do live for a lot longer, so she might be in her early 20s for human years, I'm guessing. Yeah. Then we got the level 2 sheet as well to allow you to take her at a second level if you so chose. If you want to get a bit more experience, you can replay some of the older missions and take her at the first level. So that's pretty cool. And finally, what I consider to be the letdown of the delivery, issue 10. So let's take a look at this. So yeah, the dice for issue 10 are a minuscule, well not minuscule, but a rather tiny set there of metal dice. And nice weight to them, but I'm probably going to be keeping these just as a fun little whimsical item. I doubt I'll see much use of them. But yeah, they look quite nice. Nice and clear at least. We've got the gold edging and numbers and the darker brass of the actual dice. So yeah, they do look pretty cool. Moving on then, we got to look at issue 10, so we've got quite a bit to cover. So we got part 2 of movement, focusing on climbing, swimming and crawling. We have a bit to the Dungeon Master here to learn how to roleplay as NPCs. Might want to give them a bit more information, so how they dress, their background, and what do they want and how do they try to get it. Character building, so you could easily create an NPC that will appear multiple times and they can change over those times. NPCs can temporarily join parties, usually as guides or assistants. Pretty cool. Then we have equipment, part 2, so looking more at the smaller items of equipment that our characters carry. So, for instance, the ball bearings that our rogue has, 50 feet of rope, mirrors, candles, and we got some more pictured descriptions here of ready-made packs. So a diplomat's pack has a parchment, quill and bottle of ink, treasure box, a lantern and a cloak. A dungeoneer's pack will have hammer, rope, rations, a torch, tinder box, and of course a backpack with bedroll. And an entertainer's pack will be loaded up with wine, cheeses, biscuits, candles, musical instruments, and even entertainment things such as masks there. Next, we take a look at languages. So, yeah, incorporating part of real life into the game is the different types of languages that races will talk. There's also different written languages, so we see the table here for Dwarvish and Elvish, so these will be pretty handy for anyone looking to create props for their role-playing groups, possibly even their LARP groups. For those of you who know about LARP or live-action roleplay. And yeah, a bit more here about the power of words, comprehension, and even secret languages. Moving on, we got a new class. This is the Sage. So these are wizened characters who have a mastery of languages and lore. So yeah, pretty beneficial to a party. We also have a Charlatan. So these are part of our rogues. So yeah, backgrounds on them. Benefits of being a charlatan and how to roleplay him. Moving on to our lore, we have a bit of background on the Sword Mountains as well as the Knightly Order of the Gauntlet. And then Dead Not Mine Part 2, so our adventure into the mine continues. And yeah, we're starting to get a bit more adventure time as they're coming up to 3 to 4 hours long. So yeah, looking forward to playing these. And on the back we have a goblin enemy there. So that's everything quickly gone through. Let's bring it all back in. I'll give you my final thoughts and I'll talk about pricing points, etc. And yeah, we'll go from there. So there we have our third delivery of Dungeons and Dragons Adventurer. Bit of a mixed bag, I think. A couple of whimsical sets of dice, a rather over ornamental set of dice, and another set of basic sort of dice. Yeah, some good issues in here. We get a new character. We look at, there's a lot of new lore and stuff, especially in issue 7, Sage Advice section. So yeah, we're getting a lot of information that's going to be very helpful to expanding our Dungeons & Dragons skill sets, giving us advice and insight into new classes and races that we could play in the future, and ones we will eventually start playing. There is going to be, as I mentioned, a Dragonborn coming in the near future. I can't remember his particular class though. It might have been the Sage, can't remember. I'll have to double check later on. But yeah, we got a brand new character, the Forest Gnome Bard, so that's pretty cool. We can add a Bard to our group. And yeah, like I said, the dice set, some are pretty cool, some very gimmicky, like the glow in the dark set. Like I said, if you charge them up nicely with a bright light, they'll come in handy for role playing in the dark. The metal set is a very niche sort of set. I don't see a lot of people using them. They are really tiny. Bit of a collector's item more than anything. So we are starting to see a bit of why the collection is priced at $8.99. Things like this would be pretty pricey for them to create, even at that size. Going larger, you'd probably end up putting the issues at the same price as the binder. Speaking of the binder is $10.99 an individual binder, buying directly from Hachette. As I mentioned, issue delivery free comes with a free binder, so at least you got one to go on with. You can cancel and not have any more by simply emailing the customer service department. But if you don't, you will be charged, as I said, $10.99 a time, and you get another free, I think, after the first one. So yeah, 30 quid, and you could probably spend that and get better folders from Smith's, The Works, Office World, Supplies, etc. Going back to the dice then, like I said, this set I really do like, but I see it more of a ornamental set. I'd proudly display this in like a really cool dice display box or something. Don't see myself really using it. I like the D4. The D4 is actually pretty clear. So is some of the numbers on the D10 here. Numbers on the D20 are a little tiny, hard to see, even more so than some other dice that we've had. I think looking at the difference between them, yeah, I'd probably say the tiny metal ones are clearer to read at a distance than these are, especially looking through my phone here. Yeah, I can clearly see 1, 7 on there, and I can barely make out 3, 1, 7, 15, 5 there. So yeah, swings and roundabouts really, but I do quite like some of these sets, but won't be particularly using them myself. Fun little gimmicky sets are nice and do add value to the collection at least. But yeah, like I said, we do get a new character sheet as well, which is pretty handy. Always love getting character sheets. I'd like to see, hopefully going forward, more handout things like props, etc. included with the collection. We had, I think it was issue 2 or 3, one of our missions was to give a piece of paper to the player party, but they didn't actually supply us with it. They just printed it on the back of the DM brief, which would have been nice if they'd given us a second copy of it as a free gift. But yeah. So, as I mentioned at the start of the video, going forward, we're going to be getting some more handy, useful items for helping with our roleplay game. So, inspiration tokens, more character tokens, and monster tokens as well are going to be in the collection as we go forward. But yeah, there we have it. That's my unboxing for delivery free. So, yeah. Price-wise, as I mentioned, the binder is free, but would cost you $10.99 each. Full package delivery price then for me was $35.96. That's just that standard subscription. Premium subscription, I believe it comes up to about $39. So yeah, actually £153. £456. So yeah, just over 40, just under 42 quid for premium subscription if you went for that. I'm gonna, keep to standard subscription, and I'm probably gonna cancel the folders if perhaps I see a review and they have different dividers in. I might have to order them separately. But I have seen Hachette update their website with a lot of your old collections, special sets that came from them, like premium sets, subscriber offer things. So we might see stuff like this come out on their website eventually that we get the chance to buy duplicates of. That'd be quite nice. But yeah, I think I have rambled on long enough. Let me know what you thought of delivery free in the video description. I got it wrong. I always get it wrong. I used to say comment section for video description, and now I'm saying video description for comment section. Let me know what you thought of delivery free in the comment section down below. That's the one. Do you like this delivery? Or are you like me, a bit indifferent, like some bits, don't like some other bits? And the folders, yeah, I'm not really keen on. It would have been nice if they had some detail on the inside. The dividers would be nice if they had more detail, like on the back, instead of being clear, they had the individual section chapters and sub-chapters. That would have been better. Let me know what you thought of it. I'm off to go read through all these, and I'll get on to doing full in-depth reviews in the next 4 weeks. So, until next time, thank you all for watching, and keep rolling those crits.